Howdy and welcome back. So let's get started in today's lesson with a review of some of the terminology that we introduced in during the first week of class. So this first slide probably looks familiar. It was shown during the object types and values lecture where we introduced just some basic vocabulary that will be used throughout this course. So we said that a type essentially defines a set of possible values and a set of operations for an object. So that's what we mean when we're talking about a type. We say that an object is going to be our abstraction of a memory cell. So it's going to be memory that holds a value, and that value is going to be interpreted according to some type. We specify that the value is the actual underlying bits in memory that are interpreted to that type, and a variable is simply going to be a named object. So continuing on this discussion, we showed a slide very similar to this. We see that a program variable is an abstraction of a computer memory cell or collection of program memory cells. We showed that different sort of objects take up different amounts of space. Moreover, that this space had particular implication in terms of the range of values that could be stored within that. We said that variables had 6 different attributes. We said that they're going to be composed of a name, which will be composed of a sequence of letters and digits, that they have an address, which is essentially the machine memory address with which an object is going to be associated. We said that they have a type, which determines the range of values, as well as the set of operations that can be performed on an object of that type. We said that a value, is essentially going to be the contents of the memory cell or cells associated with that variable. That scope is going to be the part of the program in which our variable's name will have a particular meaning. Then lifetime we defined as essentially the time at which that name is going to be bound to the memory cell. And that will be from its point of allocation to point of deallocation. We then introduced the different kind of the structure of a variable declaration. We said that a declaration is going to be composed of 4 parts. An optional specifier, which would be an initial keyword that specifies some non-type attribute. We introduced the idea of essentially read-only objects by introducing const. Followed by the optional specifier is the base type of the object. Thereafter, a declarator, which is going to be composed of a name and optionally some declarator operators that are either going to be prefix or postfix. What's going to be important to note through this discussion is that postfix declarator operations will bind more tightly than prefix ones. Finally, the declarations can be finished with an optional initializer. So we'll move on to our introduction to pointers here now.